and welcome to episode 4 of All West All Access. My name is Mackenzie Gomes, and I hope you're doing well in this month of October 2020. Today we have a very special guest joining us from his home office remotely. We have Jim. Welcome, Jim.
Well, thank you, Mackenzie. I've been looking forward to being on All West All Access, so this is really a big highlight for me this month.
Very good. We're glad to have you. So for those of you who may not know, Jim Wells is our All West Select Sires General Manager and CEO, and we will let him further introduce himself.
Okay, well, thank you, Mackenzie. I've been in this role of General Manager for, this is the 12th year, so at the end of this year will be 12 full years. Previously to that, I had the pleasure to work with Bill Genesi in California for about 8 years and enjoyed that time there. So the last 20 years, so I joined All West in 2000, so I'm celebrating my 20th anniversary with All West.
Happy work-iversary to you this year, Jim. We're very excited to have you here with us this month as we are celebrating National Cooperative Month in the month of October. And for those of you who don't know, All West Select Sires is one of 6 farmer-owned cooperatives throughout our nation that make up the Select Sires Federation. And Select Sires is not only the largest, but the last farmer-owned cooperative in the AI industry. So that is really exciting. And here at All West, we take a lot of pride in being a farmer-owned cooperative, as our mission is to enhance our member owners' success through genetics. Jim is particularly very passionate about cooperatives and their structure and their benefits for our member owners. And so we have him here with us today to answer some questions to help us see the beauty of cooperatives.
Exactly, Mackenzie. October has been co-op month for a number of years, and in fact, I believe it started in the state of Minnesota. And Minnesota just happens to be the state with the most cooperatives. The top 5 states in the U.S., Minnesota's number 1. They have 160 co-ops. Texas is number 2, only 3 behind with 157. North Dakota is 3rd, and 4th is California. So it's kind of interesting to see that one of our states here in the West made the top 5, especially with the high number of cooperatives that you tend to find in the Midwest. There are in the U.S. about 1,800 ag cooperatives. That's just agricultural cooperatives. If you look at the cooperative industry as a whole, there are many co-ops that are not even a part of agriculture. For example, if you were in New York City and you said the word cooperative, people would immediately think about apartments. Instead of condos in New York, many of them are cooperatives. But there's also cooperatives in all kinds of other industries. So, for example, there's cleaning service cooperatives, child care cooperatives, home health care cooperatives. There are actually cooperatives that own jet airplanes. So if you want to join a very exclusive cooperative, that would be a cooperative to join, because you, as a member, you get use of those private jets. But as a whole, if you look at the number of cooperatives in the U.S., there's 1,800, and those 1,800 ag co-ops employ about 180,000 employees throughout the country, and there are approximately 8,000 locations. So despite what you may have heard, co-ops in the ag industry are still alive and well and very prosperous. If you look at the financial side of ag cooperatives, the interesting thing is each year the revenues of ag co-ops continues to go up each and every year. This past year, from the financial analysis of agricultural co-ops, there was a record $96 billion in assets owned by ag co-ops, of which $44 billion was member equity. So that tells you a lot about the whole ag cooperatives as a whole, that we're indeed very competitive with a lot of private industries.
Awesome. Thank you for that insight, Jim. So for any of you watching, if you have any questions for Jim, please comment on this video and we will get your questions answered. But I'm going to start Jim off with a few questions here. And our first question that we have for Jim is, in your own words, what is a cooperative and how does it work?
Co-ops have been around for many, many years. They, in fact, started back in Europe centuries ago. But a co-op basically is an organization that is owned and controlled by the members who use its products and or services. So if you think about a co-op, there's three main legs to the stool, if you will, and all three of those are vital. A co-op is owned by its users or its members. It is controlled by the users, members, and it's for the benefit of the users or members. So if you think about it, a member of a co-op kind of wears two hats. They wear the hat of a customer who does business with the organization, but they also wear the second hat of an owner. So they have an ownership interest in the organization, and as a benefit to that owner element, they have the opportunity to participate in the governance and direction of the cooperative.
You led right into our next question here, mentioning being a member owner comes with benefits. So can you talk a little bit more about what these benefits are to our member owners?
There's a number of benefits, and they're not just patronage. That's usually the first thing someone thinks about. But cooperatives benefit its members in a number of ways. Things such as access to markets or protection in markets. Maybe it's access to products. Maybe it is collectively they can secure inputs at a better price and better accessibility than anyone could individually. But it also goes beyond that into the financial area. So a benefit would be that a member has the ability to share in the profits of the company. Actually, they'll develop equity into the company that if a co-op is properly administered, that equity will always come back to the member. And those are some benefits that no other private or investor company would offer.
Very good point you brought up about the difference in benefits between a co-op and a private investor company. But further into that, what is the difference in purpose of a cooperative versus a private investor company?
I've told this example many times over the years, but it's like, if you think about it, there's two parts to this. There's the owners and the members, and we as service people who are interested in serving dairymen and cattlemen, we're in between. So if we're a private investor company, we have an obligation to the owners of the company to return as big a profit to them as possible. At the same time, on the other hand, we are responsible to provide the best service and do the best job for our customer that we possibly can. So in reality, those two things are a little bit of a conflict of interest. For example, a Wall Street investor and an investor company really doesn't have interest or passion about the dairy industry or the beef industry. They just want the highest possible return on their investment in stock. Now, conversely, a co-op, these two elements are both the same. So there's not a conflict of interest as such built into that. And I believe that is the best possible scenario that a member owner could have. They benefit from being a customer. They benefit from being an owner, and that benefit isn't just temporarily. That benefit is ongoing, and that equity as such grows into cooperative as well.
Switching from the perspective of a member owner to an actual employee of a co-op, you as the CEO of All West Select Sires work for the member owners, and you take direction specifically from our All West Board of Directors, which is a very unique role. What would you say is your favorite part about working for our member owners and working for this cooperative?
Well, I have worked for cooperatives for many, many years in many different roles, but the most unique role is that when you work directly for a board of directors. And I have to say that at All West, this cooperative has been blessed with great leadership for decades. You can go back and look at the pictures of all the people that have served on the board over the years. And by the way, we have those people posted on the walls of our office. And if you look at all those people and you think about the roles they've played, All West has been very, very fortunate to have that kind of leadership. But the best part of that, Mackenzie, is when you get to work with people who share the same passion for the dairy industry or the beef industry, who have the same love and for great cattle, good genetics, and want to see herds improve and grow and develop through the use of the best genetics in the industry. When you have that, that makes it a kind of a unique purpose that we all share together. And I think that's the key word, purpose. Everybody shares that purpose. And as a result, we all want the same thing. We're all looking for the same thing. And my role is to help this board carry out its direction. So when the board says these are some things that we would really like to see make available to our members and or services or any of those kind of things, my job is to help put together those policies or those directions and put them into place and see that they get executed. Now, that's not just a one-person thing. I have to tell you that just as we've been blessed with having great leadership on the board, we've been blessed over the many, many years to have great leadership and great employees in leadership positions at All West. And if you think back over the decades, that has always been the case. So the one thing about cooperatives is that it's bigger than a one-person show. No one person really is that crucial. You know, it's the cumulative effect of a large group of people all with the same purpose in mind that makes it very unique. So that's one of the things I guess I enjoy the most about this particular role. But, you know, like most of us, you included, Mackenzie, we were attracted to this business because we had a great love of cows. You know, there's a cow behind you and behind you in this picture, there's a cow behind me. We all share that love of great cattle. And I think that's what makes cooperatives very unique compared to other companies. Because at All West, if someone wants to work for us because they think it pays well, or they think they're going to make money, and that's the motivator, that's not a person we're really interested in having as an employee. We want people who share that same love and purpose and have the same beliefs that we all have. And in doing that, I believe we develop a culture at All West that is in line and fully in step with the vast majority of our customers. And I believe that's why we've been successful.
I would have to agree with you on that, Jim. So obviously there are a lot of benefits to being a member owner of a cooperative and also working for a cooperative as an employee, which I can attest to as well. But why should someone, in our case, a dairy producer or a cattle rancher, want to do business with a cooperative such as All West?
Well, it goes along with what I was talking about, a shared vision or purpose, a shared passion. I believe that's one thing that a cooperative brings, especially co-op employees, because cooperative employees believe in cooperatives just like the members do. Co-op employees stand for it and want to see it prosper and believe in the principles that make up a cooperative and what makes a cooperative successful. So I believe there's a difference, and part of it's that culture. But I believe that you are going to find that a co-op employee is more interested in finding a way for you to be successful than they are in making a sale. And I think other people that are money motivated and companies that are just money motivated, they're more interested in making a sale than they are into making a difference. So I believe that's one reason, is that cooperatives approach the whole relationship, I believe, much differently than a private industry, than a private company would.
So if you are one of our viewers and you are also a customer here in All West Territory who is not yet receiving the benefits of being a member owner, I ask why, and you might be asking, how do I become a member owner of All West Select Sires? So I'm going to let Jim let you know how to join us.
At All West, it's really difficult. You have to buy some semen from us and fill out a membership card. It's that simple. Doesn't require anyone to buy thousands of dollars worth of stock or anything like that. It's simply buy semen from us, and we will send you a membership card, which you fill that out, and we keep that on file, and that makes you a member, makes you eligible for all the benefits that All West has, and for patronage in the year that you did business, and so it's very easy to become a member. One of the things that we find interesting is that every once in a while, occasionally, you'll find someone that doesn't want to be a member. And it's like, gee, I don't know why. I don't know why they wouldn't. And so that's kind of the $64,000 question. But for the most part, I believe 99.9% of the people who have the opportunity to join All West as a member do so.
Well, now you've heard it straight from Jim Wells. The process to become a member owner of All West Select Sires is very simple, and there's no better time to do it than now in the month of October, which is National Cooperative Month. We thank Jim so much for tuning in with us remotely, and we also thank our viewers for tuning in this month and putting up with our rural internet access here from our home offices.
Well, thank you, Mackenzie, for having me on the show. I look forward to being on the show, as I've been a big fan, and I really like what you're doing with the interviews of people and bringing behind the scenes of All West to the front, so our members can see more of what we do every day to help them achieve their success on their farms.
Thank you, Jim. And please note, all of you watching, you can still ask Jim questions in the comments of this video, and we will get back to you even after it is done going live. Stay tuned as we bring you next month's episode 5 of All West All Access. We'll see you then.